Okay, so wanted to go over a product that we actually was gifted to us. It is a chainsaw. Typically, I only use Stihl chainsaws. I've got a couple of little small, like 193s, a 180, a 210, a 290, and another one. I can't think of the model number right now. It doesn't matter. But riding four-wheelers, obviously when you're out on the trail, you run across downed limbs and trees and so forth that make it difficult, having to try to go around it and that sort of thing, as well as overlanding. So we do a little bit of overlanding as well. And with the overlanding aspect of it, obviously just garnering firewood, not really having to clear a path, though this would have been very helpful when we went to Idaho trying to go to a fire tower, and there were so many trees that had fallen, it just we had to turn around. So that was pretty disappointing. Having something like this, hopefully we can avoid those types of issues in the future. So the Milwaukee M18 is the one that we chose. I have other M18 tools, wanted something battery compatible, charger compatible, and the Milwaukee had really good reviews. I opted for the top handle instead of the longer one, just for a little shorter footprint. Again, hauling it either on a four-wheeler or overlanding in the truck, that sort of thing. It does not come, obviously you can buy these in all sorts of different ways. It did not come with the case. Want to show you an up-close idea of what you can put in the case. So you have an area for a quart of oil, an extra battery. Obviously you've got a battery in the saw as well as the charger. You can throw a pair of gloves in here. You've already got a tool, but you could have a spare, the instruction manual in case you forget how this thing works. The bar scabbard, if you will, that typically comes with the saw. Obviously everything fits in there, really nice package. So Milwaukee, whoever, seems to have thought this out a little bit. I've never used this saw. I've never used an electric saw. I've got a good friend that has a Stihl electric saw. He hates the thing. He says it's really weak, the battery doesn't last, so on and so forth. And when I told him I bought a battery chainsaw, he kind of giggled at me. So I really want to use this on some of this harder oak pallet wood. This stuff is so hard you can't drive a nail in it without having air behind it. So I have to pre-drill it anytime I want to use it in any kind of construction manner, because my pass load will not drive a nail in this. So it is hard. I'm going to cut a bit of it up and let my in-laws use that to heat the house a little bit this winter, see how they like it. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. That's going to be about all the talking I'm going to do. The thing's either going to cut or it's not. And hopefully we can show you some chips flying here in just a minute. Thanks. So just making a few cuts with it. The biggest thing that I noticed, obviously I've got air plugs in as well as having muffs. So I don't really know, compared to a gas unit, how loud it is, but it feels like a toy. It doesn't, it just, I mean, obviously it cuts great. The chain is sharp. I had no problems going through anything. This has got the the HD 12.0 on it, and so anyway, I feel like it's going to do what we're going to need it to do. Or if I'm climbing trees, that sort of thing, which I'll do on occasion, having something to where I don't have to yank the saw. My father-in-law, he has no idea what we're doing. So anyway. All right, so don't know if you were able to see how much wood was in the bed of the trailer. There was quite a bit, to the point to where the HD 12.0, we killed it. And we had, I don't know, I probably made another 20 cuts or so after that, which with the XC8. We when we bought these batteries, it was a buy one get one free through Home Depot, and obviously I'm glad that you got 2 batteries. Now this case has the ability to actually haul 3, 2 spares and then 1 in the saw itself. So it has, in my opinion, plenty of capacity, especially if you have a way to charge it with a little battery station like what we have our Voltman. But this is what it looks like. So I didn't clean it the whole time. Noticed a couple of things that are different, and one is the oil for the bar and chain. Now on my gas saws, typically I will need gas before I need oil, but when I go to put gas, I've just made it a habit, and I've always been taught put oil when you put gas. Well, you don't put gas in these, obviously, and I don't see the oil lasting as long as the battery. Maybe so, depending on the type of wood and all of that sort of thing. I would make 20 to 30 cuts somewhere in that neighborhood, or pick a certain amount of wood that you want to cut, and then check the oil. It's not going to hurt anything, obviously, to stop and to make sure that you've got plenty. The ease of which it handles, I was really surprised. Again, with a new chain, obviously it's going to cut well. Now, I hit a nail. Obviously it's pallet wood, and I got through all of that wood with only hitting 1 nail. I went ahead and just continued to saw and saw, so the HD12 may very well have gone through all of the wood had I not hit the nail. Obviously that causes more drag on the chain and all of that jazz. One thing that I noticed, another thing that I noticed that I like about this is when it gets, if you put it in too much of a bind, it will stop until you clear it, get out of it, and then you can start over again and get back into the cutting. I like that. To me, it's a safety feature. It's again a little different than a gas unit and how it's going to react. I didn't really have any type of kickback issues. To me, a battery, if most of them are like this one, I would think would be a good saw to teach someone or for someone to get started on. It's not terribly light. These batteries are heavy. The little machine is heavy, and so my cameraman's eating a snowball. Anyway, all the videos that I saw, it said that this doesn't leak oil as it's sitting in the case. I've got some oil in the case here. I have no idea. I couldn't see when I pulled it out. Everything looked completely dry. I have zero idea where it came from. It's not a huge deal. It's not like it's a puddle, so don't necessarily care about that. A couple of the features, and you'll see this probably on other videos, is the little lanyard. So if you are climbing with it, you have the ability obviously to put a lanyard on there, attach it to you, and then that way you have it. The little tool, of course, that comes with it. I did not tighten the chain at all. I didn't try to abuse it, of course. I take care of my equipment, but I do use it. I did not tighten the chain at all. You can see that it's just a little loose, but not really bad at all. Most of my gas-powered saws, going through that amount of wood, I would have had to tighten the chain, I can guarantee it. So kudos to Milwaukee or whatever little poor Chinese kids making this thing, I'm not sure. But I didn't clean it at all. It didn't seem to bog at all. It would either cut or it would stop, and it only stopped, I think, a couple of times, and it was when the battery was getting weak on the 12, so I'm sure that's probably why. Just didn't, the chain had been dulled by then with the nail. Didn't have any use for the brake, though obviously it does work. I like the little level here for the oil. That was nice, but other than that, heck, I like the little thing. I wasn't real sure about it, to be honest with you. I'm not a huge battery guy. I don't drive a Tesla. I don't eat vegan and those types of things. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But anyway, I hope that this helps someone maybe make a decision, maybe not. The bar, I could use a little shorter bar, but this was fine. The chances of me using anything, especially middle of the road and beyond, are fairly rare, but I did cut pulling up on the saw, obviously, as well as going down. No issues either way. You've got your metal barbs. I can't remember what they call that, but is that the bucking teeth? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not the saw guy, but they are expensive. But buy once, cry once, that type of thing. And especially if it's going to be something that you're going to use on a fairly regular basis, you're going to haul it, those types of things. Milwaukee has a 3-year battery warranty. I don't know of any other company that does that. They may all do that, I'm not sure. But obviously the batteries that they've got now are solid stuff. So I've always used DeWalt, but I'm a Milwaukee guy at the moment. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I hope that helps somebody. Another good thing about using this, and you don't have gas with it, as long as you can keep your batteries charged, even if you run out of bar oil, you can use motor oil. I know that's not ideal, but it can be used. So there, again, are quite a few benefits to using this type of equipment in certain situations. I'm not going to be giving up my gas-powered stuff anytime soon. But anyway, thanks again. Info Not Wars, please subscribe, share, and all of that jazz. Thanks.